All right, here is something I never tried to do before. This is my 2025 PLE predictions. All right, look at the list. So you got Backlash, Saturday Night's main event, Worlds Collide, Money in the Bank, Saturday Night's main event again, and SummerSlam. I'm going to ignore Battleground because that's not what we're talking about right now. So, Backlash. So, we're still stuck on the Judgment Day storyline, right? So, I'm thinking that Backlash, we're going to have Finn versus Dom. All right. I still don't have no update about the women's tag team belts. But however, that's what I think is going to happen at Backlash. Starting next week, we'll probably see a betrayal from Finn. And hopefully he does it right to where the others don't get involved. But if they do get involved, it's going to be very hard for Finn to fight back, especially if he's outnumbered. Okay. And I don't believe JD is going to leave him like too soon, but we're hoping he'll side with him before Saturday night's main event. We just have to wait and see. But however, my prediction on that match, I do believe that Dom is going to retain due to the numbers game, and that's where it leads to my next prediction, and that's Saturday night's main event. So there's only two things. Okay, I do believe it's going to be a 8 women. I think it's going to be an 8-person tag team match. I don't know if it's going to be elimination, but I do know it's probably going to be that, where Finn is going to team up with one guy and he's going to team up with 2 women. Now, I think it is JD. It could be JD or AJ Styles. I hope it be JD, but I don't know. We have to wait and see. And I'm thinking that's what's going to happen in Saturday night's main event. I do believe it might be a 4 versus 4, where we have Carlito, Dom, Liv, Raquel, and we got Finn, JD, and either 2 people. It's either Alexa and Nikki or Becky and Lyra. And the only reason why I say Becky and Lyra is because I don't really think those 2 are beefing like that. I think what's going on is that Becky is trying to teach Lyra a lesson about toughness, and tough skin. You know what I mean? So I do believe that Becky is trying to get Lyra to turn heel with her, because the crowd was not really rocking with Lyra like that, and I'm saddened about that. But that's why I just think that maybe once Becky take the title away from Lyra, maybe she should join forces with her, just so they can probably, get her to toughen up, so that way she knows how to be strong and how to lead. And like you can have Becky as a leader, mentor still, and just have her as a mentee. And I think that can really do something, especially if Lyra can, switch her character, because if the crowd don't like her, then you might as well turn heel. So I'm thinking that Becky and Lyra might team up with Finn, but I think Finn needs to reach out to Becky in order for that to happen. But if that don't work, then we got, Finn and Alexa, but they have to have a conversation. So I don't know if Alexa's coming tonight, but we'll see. I mean, I'm thinking that she will, but I don't know. The Triple H been kind of, I don't want to talk about it. But however, it's either one of them. You know what I mean? It's either Alexa and Nikki or Becky and Lyra. I know they're going to face each other at Backlash. We all know who's going to win is Becky. So, but however, those 2 can team up again. If the reasoning is because I'm trying to toughen you up, and that's the reason why I betrayed you. It ain't got to be like Becky and Trish. You know what I'm saying? It don't got to be that. Because we know Lyra can't make it on her own. So, shoot, let's get Becky and Lyra to team up. It should work, if she listens. So hopefully that will be the case. But, it's either one of them, So that's what I'm thinking for Saturday night's main event. That's what who I think is going to win that match. My pick is Finn, JD, and the women. I have to say the women because I don't know which one is going to team up with them. But however, that's what I think. I think Team Finn is going to win. But if we can, because we can't just keep Beck and Dom to win matches. It's not going to work, because he's not supposed to be face. He's supposed to be heel. So in order for him to be face, he got to separate from Liv Morgan. That's the only way to do it. So, but hopefully Finn will catch a dub. But if he catch a dub, it's probably because either Alexa Bliss or JD or whoever can capture a win. Hopefully that would be the case. But some people say that Dom might win, but hopefully Finn, it doesn't come to that because Alexa can't keep taking L's, bro. And I mean, if it's Lyra and Becky, that's cool. But if it's just like, but if it's Alexa, you can't have her lose. You've been holding her back since Elimination Chamber. You can't just have her lose, bro. I'm sorry. All right, you got to have her win, at least for the crowd's sake. Otherwise, you're acting like you're acting like Alexa don't got no fans. She do got fans. We're one of them. So hopefully Triple H don't do no wrong with that booking. But I'm rooting for Team Finn just because it's only fair. You know what I'm saying? For Alexa's sake. But if it's Lyra and Becky, it's unpredictable. So, but that's my take on that. Next up, we got Worlds Collide. Now this is a Mexican match, so anybody that's Latino are gonna attend in this match. Now my thing is this: is Dom and Raquel gonna attend? They are Mexican, and they should be in this match. I mean, honestly, they should. But then again, we do have Money in the Bank, so. I hope that Dom and Raquel can attend in this match. If I have to pick some matches for them, I'll say Dom versus Penta and Raquel versus Stephanie Valkyria. Now, I know that's a little bit too soon, but I like to see Stephanie versus Raquel. I think that would be dope. You know what I mean? I think Raquel can put in dominance and power while Stephanie bring in speed and integrity. So I think that can really work. You know what I mean? I think it would be a great match for Raquel because young talent versus, well, I ain't going to say old, but you know what I mean? Like, I think that would be a former NXT champion versus a current NXT champion. I think that would be dope. I think it would be great for Raquel. I think the performance in the ring would be phenomenal. I just hope that Raquel can handle the ride that Stephanie could put her in when she put those legs on her head. Oh my goodness! If she could learn how to do that, I think that would be funny and it'll be phenomenal. So I would definitely want to see that. But Dom versus Penta, because I feel like Penta needs a rematch after what happened on Raw. I feel like he should have never lost that match, but because of JD is the reason why. So it is what it is. I ain't tripping on that. But next one, Money in the Bank, which is on the same day, by the way. So the Worlds Collide is going to start at 3, but I don't have a specific time or what time it starts. I assume 7 or 8. I'll just say 7 for now. But yeah, for Money in the Bank, I listen. I don't know if Dom is going to lose the belt before Money in the Bank. I doubt it. But however, I do want to see this. If Dom is still champ, I would love for Dom to go up against Sheamus for the Intercontinental title and Finn cost him the title and Sheamus win his first ever Intercontinental Championship title. Because he couldn't, because think about it. He wasn't able to be booked at WrestleMania, so it's only fair. You know what I mean? You should give Sheamus that title belt. I don't care about the Living Dom fans, okay? Sheamus should have never, ever, ever be set back from a WrestleMania match, ever. So Kaiser even got set back, and I will never understand that to this day. So no, you got to make it right for Sheamus and make it right for Kaiser. Have Kaiser win Money in the Bank. Why? Because it's only right, okay? You should allow these two men to get their moment that they couldn't get at WrestleMania. And that's the goal, okay? So Sheamus need to face Dom, okay? And Finn needs to cost him the title. Or you can have Liv Morgan cost him the title. And then that will be the end of the Living Dom era. But however, again, we want Sheamus to beat Dom for the match. If I can get it. If we can predict it. I will love Sheamus versus Dom for the Intercontinental title. It's only fair. And I want Kaiser to be the winner of Money in the Bank. Okay? I think it's only right. It's only fair because those two wasn't able to get their opportunity at WrestleMania for the gold. So I say make that right, make that official. Let's get that booking set up so that way they can get what they deserve, and that's the goal, okay? I would love for Kaiser to cash in, whoever he want to cash in on. And I would love for Sheamus to get the Intercontinental title for the first time, And look, we could talk about the attendance for Money in the Bank later. This is just my prediction. This is just my suggestion and recommendation because I know most of this might not come true, but we do know one thing that's going to come true, and that's Dom versus Finn at Backlash. We know that's coming true, but everything else, it's predictable or unpredictable. You never know, but it's a suggestion. So hopefully we can get that. But if we don't, hey, at least it's just my ideas, my fantasy booking. So that's what I predict, and that's what I want. Sheamus versus Dom. Finn cost him the match. Sheamus win his first ever IC belt, and Kaiser winning Money in the Bank to make up what happened at WrestleMania 41. Only right, only fair. That's what I'm going at. Next one. We got another Saturday night's main event, and this is after SummerSlam. Now, it's hard for me to predict this one, but I know some people will say we're going to have Dom versus Finn at SummerSlam. But again, I don't know. But this is just like a suggestion. I'm just going to say suggestion. I would like it to be a mixed tag team match between Finn and Liv Morgan versus Dom, and I know y'all going to be freaked out when I say this, but Raquel. Reason why I say that is because I have this ain't gonna come true, but I just have this is what I'm picturing. Let's say that Dom can't find a female partner. What if he asked Raquel to be his partner? Now, we could say Roxanne, but after what she did to Krona Jade, I don't see that's gonna happen at all. But it could. But I just don't know if you could trust Roxanne after what she did to her best friend. You get what I'm saying? So I'm thinking that Raquel should team up with Dom and go against Finn and Liv Morgan. Now, who going to win that match? Well, I mean, if Dom is going face, then I think he should win that match. But if he don't, then it's most likely probably going to be Finn. Because at that point, I think people will side with Finn, but they'll still side with Dom just because, people starting to like Dom now. So they might like Finn at some point, but I think Finn is not going to turn demon until SummerSlam. So maybe maybe Finn and Liv have to lose that match in order for them to turn demon. So maybe that will be the case. So I'm thinking maybe it will be, it will be like Dom versus the demon at SummerSlam. Okay. And then will we get Liv versus Raquel? I wouldn't even book that match. And the reason why is because it wouldn't be fair for Raquel and it wouldn't be fair for Liv. You want to know why? Because if one of them lose, they both take an L, right? If Raquel lose, she has to go. If Liv Morgan lose at her hometown, it will be devastating. Okay, so it'll be like a Selena Vega versus Rhea Ripley match at Puerto Rico. It would just be an embarrassment. Okay, so I would even book that. Now, will Liv Morgan join with Finn before SummerSlam? I'm thinking that I think they should. You know what I mean? Just because I said that I want Liv Morgan to have a singles match at SummerSlam because it's at her hometown. So some people in the comment box say that she should be facing Charlotte Flair. So I say here's the matches that I'm thinking. So we got Dom. Well, oh shoot. Okay, let's jump to the next one. So yeah, SummerSlam. The first night, it should be Dom versus the Demon on the first night of SummerSlam. And the next night, we get Charlotte versus Liv Morgan. Okay? Now, should it be for the title? I don't know. It depends on Tiffany's title reign. If she can make it till SummerSlam, we good. If she don't, and Charlotte become champion, which I don't recommend, then Liv Morgan should come to SmackDown and, take the title. Will she stay on SmackDown? I don't know. It depends on, will Liv and Raquel separate at that time? I'm not sure. But we'll see. We'll see. But, again, I can't predict on that. But I can definitely predict on this storyline. So, now some people say that Liv and Raquel might face each other as Survivor Series, but that's a long way. That's a long way. Now, again, as for the tag team titles goes, I think they're going to lose it at WWE Evolution. It's supposed to be a July 5th. It's not on the list, but I do believe that that they're going to lose the titles then. Are they going to lose it against Alexa and Nikki? I don't know. Are they going to lose it against the Bella Twins? I mean, that's why I highly recommend, because they never won it before. So I think they should win it, right? So to me, that's when they'll lose it then. And, of course, that would be before SummerSlam, but at least we got something going. You feel me? So hopefully that will be the case. But, again, these are my suggestions. These are my recommendations. I do want the Bella Twins versus Liv and Raquel, because they never won the titles before, and I think they're going to win it that day. So July 5th is where it's probably going to be located, and that's where it's going to start. So I think that, and at that point they'll lose the titles then. So, yep. Okay. Yep. That's my predictions. All right. So y'all can comment down below. Let me know, what do you guys think? You got any suggestions, or who the Judgment Day should be booked? What's your predictions on the storylines? And don't worry, I won't delete your comment. I'm just going to hear it out. But what you guys think about these predictions? You think you can see this happening, or do you not? Okay. Like I said, Stephanie versus Valkyria, it's my idea. I'm not saying that it will come true, but it would be a good setup for her at World Collide. You know what I'm saying? She don't gotta win, even though I think she should. But it'll be a great match. So again, y'all comment down below. Let me know what's your predictions on these PLEs, and let me know what y'all think about mine. Okay, get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. All right, I'm out.